All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome into the Overlooked podcast. My name's Coach Jolo. Some people call me Jordan, other people call me Jolo. But yeah, I'm here with my guest Xavier Biggs. What's up, man? So,
What's good? How you doing?
pretty much the reason I asked Xavier to hop on the podcast today is the Overlooked podcast is all about those athletes who are just overlooked, overcoming adversity 24/7. Xavier is that true and true. I mean, he can tell his story better than I can. But I mean, first off, I just want to talk about you didn't play normal football in high school.
Nah.
It's crazy. He sent me his highlights one day, and I was like, "Hold up, what the rest of your team at on the field? What's?" But he played 6-man high school in football. Talk to me about playing 6-man high school football, especially in a state like in Texas, where everybody's a big shot doing something.
hmm Okay, so first things first. If I had $1 for every time someone asked me where's the rest of your team, I'd probably be a millionaire right now. But let's see. Went to Waco my junior year of high school, and I didn't know it was a six-man team either. When they were showing me the campus and everything, they showed me where they were practicing at. I saw about 13, 14 people on the field. That's the whole team right there. They were having tryouts, and I was there for the next day. But I was very confused. The routes are shorter. It's usually one-on-ones most of the time, where there's offense or defense if you're covering or if you're running routes. If the running back breaks, like everything is just so fast-paced. I was very confused coming from Duncanville High all the way down there. But I learned a lot. I had a great coach, Coach Matt Rogers. He was great. We won the state championship actually in 2018. I was the number one receiver in the TCAP division from 2016 to the middle of 2018. What else? All time or all state and all city wide receiver DB. Got that back to back both years when I graduated. We won actually the year I graduated. I still have my
Nice.
state ring. It's at my mom's house. She doesn't want me to have it because she thinks I'll lose it. But yeah, six-man football actually it brought a lot out of me that I didn't really think possible. My coaches back in Duncanville really weren't giving me the opportunity to move up, and Waco was a fresh start for me, and it was great. From there, went to private school, and yeah, well,
Yeah.
not private school, private college, Texas Wesleyan, but we can get into that whenever
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
ready.
yeah. I mean, let's talk a little bit more about the 6-man journey you had. I know there had to be some challenges when it came to like going from Big Duncanville down to 6-man Waco. What
It was
what would you say
definitely
the biggest of those challenges was for you?
the biggest challenge wasn't playing six man necessarily, but it was the environment that I was in while playing six man. I actually stayed on a boys' ranch, Methodist Children's Home, and
Mm-hmm.
so while we playing football, doing 2 days during the summer and stuff, I'd also be at home shoveling steer poop and feeding them and taking care of pigs and goats, all
That's
types of
good.
stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like me going out there, not only did I learn a lot with football, but I learned a lot just with anything in general. As far as the education out there, the education was great. My coach, he would tutor me on top of just teaching me football stuff. So it was like they wanted me to succeed more than football. They wanted me to be more than football out there. So shout out to MCH for that one. Football wise, let's say the first year, man, I was going crazy. I had like 14 touchdowns, 15 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards easy, all
Wow.
purpose. Yeah, it was a crazy. I think I had 4 or 5 interceptions, and this is my first year learning how to play six man. But I played football all my life, so it's literally just
Mm-hmm.
ball, catch ball, and then go on about your day. First season I was playing there, we made it all the way to the playoffs. We got beat by Wiley Preparatory, and we ended up seeing them again in the playoffs, and they ended up beating us out right before the state game,
Mm-hmm.
all the way in Springfield or Springtown, whichever one. Uh, and then the next season, like something just clicked in my head. I was in the weight room more. I was doing more cardio. I was eating better. I was ready to graduate. I had so many things ahead of me. I was like, we've got to win this state championship for my coach. A lot of things were just going through my head. So I ended up getting bigger, faster. I was looking at colleges. I was actually putting myself in the position to be successful. We ended up playing Wally Prep again for state that year, and we beat them 72-58.
Oh
So
wow.
it was a long time coming for that, but we definitely, yeah.
Nice. Okay. I'm so I know you had a lot of success and accolades on the field. Did that translate to your recruiting? And if it didn't, do you think that it could have been because you played six man? You want to like talk on that just a little bit for me?
It's definitely because I played six man. You can see even the highlights that are shown right there. A lot of the moves I did, or a lot of the things that are shown on those highlights. If you saw someone in 11 man doing it, they're getting picked up right away. It doesn't matter where they're going, whether it's JUCO, D3 and up. Somebody's gonna pick them up seeing that film on Huddle. But because I played six man, I felt like I wasn't really taken seriously, except for Texas Wesleyan at that first point. The coach
Yeah.
was talking to me. He was talking to my coach. He was feeding me, telling me that, oh, he'll be a great asset to the team. We just got a new football team. We haven't had football for over 50 years. So I'm thinking, oh, this is just like when I came to Waco. This is a rebuilding process. Everybody else is sleeping on me. Everybody else is like, oh, he plays six man. He's not good enough. And Texas Wesleyan wanted to give me a shot. So I took that opportunity, took the scholarship and everything, went to fall camp, and ended up on the practice squad,
Yeah.
redshirted.
I
And I saw a couple guys that were, oh, go ahead, my bad.
yeah. No. Go ahead. Finish off. My bad.
No, you're fine. I saw a couple guys that got the start. I'm not gonna say any names here, of course, but I seen some guys that were there the previous year that were starting again that really weren't up to par. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to talk down to any athlete. I wouldn't ever do that. But when it comes to winning, you want to put yourself in the best possible position to do
Exactly.
that. So it's just,
Exactly.
if you recruit 6 to 10, you know what I'm saying, receivers from the Dallas Fort Worth area, from Louisiana, from Houston, you know what I'm saying? At some point, it's got to be more than 3 or 4 of them that's getting playing time. But that's what happened, and the rest of us were on the practice squad. So I decided to go ahead and take my studies more seriously and leave Texas Wesleyan and go ahead and finish my college somewhere else, because there's no point in me trying to play there and be redshirted with a team that's one, not winning any games.
Exactly.
The first season that I was there, or no, was it the first season or the season before I was there? Whichever one, they had one win, and that was from a forfeit. So they were 1-9. The year that I was there, they were 2-8. So once I seen that, I was like, this might not be for me anyway. The college prices were out the wazoo, 45 racks per semester.
Yeah.
I don't have that type of money to be playing around with. I could go somewhere that's cheaper and ball out and get my
Exactly.
education.
Exactly.
But I decided to try to stick it out, finish that semester, and then I got out of Dodge.
Yeah. I
But yeah,
mean,
as far as, I'm
let's
sorry.
dive a little bit more into the Texas Wesleyan thing. I know you were at a brand new program. Texas Wesleyan just brought back football. It was a brand new thing, something that they ain't did pretty much in 50 years. You guys were playing. I can't remember what stadium you guys were playing at. It was a high school stadium
Uh,
in Fort Worth, though. What?
Starts with an F. I forgot what it was called.
Ooh, I can't remember
Right on the tip
either.
of my tongue.
It's it's all good. It's all good. We'll just keep
Yeah.
moving on. But yeah, no. Talk to me about it. Like, what was first off? What intrigued you to play at a brand new program, and even at that, when you were there, what was it like? It was a brand new pro. It's not like it's a school that y'all had classes in front of y'all. Hell, y'all might have had it. Did y'all even have a senior class your first year, athlete wise, or did
Um,
they recruit young? What was it like being on a young team or a
so
brand new team?
the the practices were okay. It just reminded me of Duncanville.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody lines up, get on the 50-yard line, run back, do our stretches. Everybody gets to their position groups. Everything was pretty normal as far as like initially just the football team. But then it came to favorites and who's gonna start and who's not, who's gonna get reps and who's not. I could see it happening throughout the practices, but
Mm-hmm.
me being me, overcoming adversity, I decided to stick my head down and keep going through it.
Exactly.
Um, Another thing that happened, actually, my roommate had got in trouble with the coaches, so I ended up getting in trouble with him as well, because we're roommates, we're supposed to hold each other accountable, and we ended up getting our pass taken away for like a week, and we were just running at practice. And so that fed the fuel even more, like, okay, this had nothing to do with me, but I'm still taking the punishment, and I'm still riding from a teammate. So at that point, I'm like, all right, when we get our pass back, I'm gonna show out. You're gonna see the highlight on there somewhere. But there was one day where the DBs, the starting defense, was just talking, talking the whole practice, and I was fed up. So I told the quarterback, and that's crazy because he just had an XFL workout.
Justin, right?
Shout out to Justin, yeah, Justin
Yeah,
Arth.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
one of my dogs right there. He is a dog, let me tell you. So I told him, I said, "Give me a chance, Justin. Just trust me." And he threw that bad boy. I caught it one hand, went and took it into the tutty, and the coaches from the other side were like, "Who is that? Was that Biggs?" And I didn't say anything to him because it's like y'all weren't expecting that out of me, and now everybody's shocked when y'all could have been, put me in the position where
Exactly.
we could all be successful,
Mm-hmm.
But that just goes and ties into the 6 man football and people not really wanting to give anybody an opportunity. Opportunity. That's crazy. That really should be a word. But an
Opportunity.
opportunity,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
an opportunity to show my medal. Like, I don't know. They had us do 16 110s, and the coach was chewing me out because on my last 110, I dove across the field because I felt my knees buckling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have bronchitis. So I have a pump, but I don't have to use it too much. But when I need to, I get it. But that day, I was forging ahead, gritting my teeth. So I dove across the line, and I got chewed out. So it's little stuff like that throughout that little first season that I was there. Everything wasn't really computing for me. So I just knew that Texas Wesleyan wasn't the spot for me. Kudos to the coaches, kudos to the campus as a whole. Nothing against y'all. It's just I feel like that wasn't the best place for me to grow. I've had more opportunities to play games in semi-pro and in indoor football than I had to play in college, which
Yeah.
you know. So,
Crazy
so
to
for
think
sure.
about. Yeah. I mean, let's
Mhm.
let's dive back into your in Waco. What actually? Everybody's recruiting process was different. You know, what was yours like? Talk to me about your recruiting process.
So I talked to my coach and I asked him, I said, how does this work? How am I going to get to the next level and play?
Mm-hmm.
And he told me that he reached out to a couple buddies, but he would refer me to NCSA, a website that I used. And they sent me to Iowa Wesleyan, some college in Cincinnati, Kansas
Mm-hmm.
Wesleyan. They sent me to a bunch of colleges that were out of state and far from family, which of course I
Exactly.
wouldn't do because a college student should be able to have help around him. You should never be
Right.
anywhere where you don't have help, any structure.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a little sad, I was a little down about it because no one was really hitting the line about it. And then my coach called me up to the office and he said, "Hey, we got a call from Texas Wesleyan in Fort Worth." I said, "Hey, that's right around the corner from my house." We stayed in Pantego at the time, so that's
Mm-hmm.
right down the street. Got in touch with coach. We started talking. I sent him some film through. He told me to come for a visit. Went ahead and came for a visit. Got to meet Coach Prudhomme, and everything. We hit it off great. Everything seemed so perfect. It only took me about 3 weeks after the season to get in
Mm-hmm.
touch and get recruited all the way. I ended up going to their spring game and everything. So I got to see that before the school year was even over, and I decided that hey, that's where I want to go. It looks pretty nice out here. The campus is nice as far as I didn't want to go to a huge campus like Oklahoma or the UT at Austin, because at the end of the day, I was still thinking about my education, and I'm more of a one-on-one learner. So being in a huge class where you ask a question and everybody's just like, that's not really the spot for me.
Exactly.
Um, yeah,
Okay.
but that's basically how the recruiting process went.
Okay. And I mean, so I know we talked about your frustration when you got to Texas Wesleyan and the promises made weren't the promises kept. Um, if you had to change your recruiting process, would you change it? And if you would, what would you change about it?
Honestly, I feel like I wouldn't have changed it. I feel like I should have just searched deeper
Mm-hmm.
and found the right spot for me, because at the end of the day, coaches want to win. And just because, like, there's a million other kids that were probably trying to, well, not literally, but there were probably a lot of other kids that were trying to get that scholarship or that they were going to give that scholarship. And so for me to get blessed with one, I'm going to forever be grateful for first and foremost. But I feel like if I would have kept that to the side and just kept digging, I might have found something that would have been more comfortable for me. I would have been more successful and I would have made it a lot farther as far as college ball. I wouldn't have had to stop playing for a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, Matter of fact, one thing that I would change is what the coaches judge skill based off of. If there's not an actual like what's the word that I'm thinking of? If there's not an actual combine, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That you see every stat that I have, don't just assume that I can't do anything. And that's what a lot of coaches do. They assume that an athlete can't do this, can't do that, just because you've only seen film is not going to be 10 minutes. You know,
Right.
like you can only have so much film to give out, and once you give that out and they ask for more, then you can give it to them. But if you just see that initial film and you think I'm not good enough based off of that, that's your loss at the end of the day. That's why I wouldn't change anything.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, let's talk about your adjustment from high school to college. I know you played at Duncanville first, transferred out to Waco, and you're on a six-man team. But did you have any adjustments that you had to make when you got to Texas Wesleyan because you had been balling out at six-man football? That I guess you had to tweak
Definitely
your game in any way.
the biggest, and I'm gonna say it again, the biggest thing I had to change swiftly to was the routes. Once again, I was a Dunkerville before, so learning the route tree was easier back then because everybody's routes are similar. But when you go to six man, you have a 1 through a 9 or a 0 through 9. Those are your routes. So if you have a play, you would run strong right, 8, 7, 9. Those would
Mm-hmm.
be your routes. You know what I'm saying? And then when you go to 11 man, you've got uh, dig, post, uh, post curl. I'd never heard none of those. Heard none of those whenever I was in six man. The most things that I heard was a fade, corner route. The regular routes that everybody uses,
Exactly.
but
Exactly.
college uses combination routes, to
Mm-hmm.
get the other receiver open or to sit in the spot. I learned how to like in six man, you didn't really have to just sit in the spot and be open. You just had to beat the man in front of you. So I had to learn how to compete with not just six other people, but with 11 other people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whether it's just a secondary or whether I'm running a slant and I have to be prepared to get smashed by that linebacker. It's not just one linebacker anymore. It's three of them right there.
Exactly.
So I had to adjust to that. Um, the pace, it was a much slower pace, so stamina wise, cardio wise, I was great. um but it's just being in tune with all the plays and stuff. The coaches were real frustrated with me because of the background I came from six man, so I'm asking them questions, and college coaches aren't there to teach you. They're just there
Exactly.
to prepare
Exactly.
craft.
Yeah.
So when I was telling them, hey, I don't know this, I don't know that, they were pissed off about that. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't good enough in their eyes, it seemed like. So that's probably another thing that I had a problem with. I wish I didn't, but I wish I'd adjusted quicker. But it all ended up working out, like I said. Had a couple opportunities afterwards that ended up working out for me.
Right. And I mean, let's kind of just talk about those opportunities. I mean, you leave Texas Wesleyan and now you're playing semi-pro football. You know,
Hmm.
talk to me. What kind of got you into that? Where'd that start? Was this something that was just I found a team online. I'm gonna go play for them. Did they find you? Tell me about that. What was that?
Honestly and truly, the first year of me playing semi-pro was such a blur. Like I don't even remember. I just remember the teams I played for. I remember I played for the Pit Bulls.
Oof.
Um, I think I like went to a couple assist practices.
Yeah, I
Um,
remember seeing you there.
yeah.
Yeah.
What else? I think I played for. Who else did I play for? Another team called the Falcons, but it wasn't the Dallas Falcons that I played for. It was the North
Okay.
Texas Falcons.
The the
But they ended
the neon green Falcons.
not even Tyrone's original ones. It
What?
was they weren't the Falcons. They were the Nighthawks. My bad.
Oh,
Pardon
okay,
me.
okay, okay. We're talking about totally
DFW
different teams here.
Nighthawks.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a dud. Most of those pro teams they weren't really fits. Lone Star, I think I was there when Coach Bud, Mama Tiny were there.
Mm-hmm.
Loved them to death, but that team as a whole just wasn't a great fit for me. What else? The assist, I didn't really get too in tune with them because I had personal stuff going on. So I
Yeah.
had fun at the track, at the practices and stuff, but I had to go and take care of stuff. I think that's right around the time that I figured out I was having a daughter on the way.
Yeah.
So
And that's
definitely
also
have to
when you figured out
prioritize
you was a
that.
DB and not as much of a receiver as you thought you was too. I remember being the one to have that
Yeah, I
conversation with.
remember the practice. that y'all told me to go to DB, and I was arguing y'all up
Yeah,
and
you
down
was
like I don't want
pissed.
to play DB. And then I
Then you
had
start
like
showing out.
yeah, two
Yeah,
picks. The first 1-on-ones, the third one deflection. I was looking good, and I was like, oh, this is as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
yeah.
So definitely that definitely was an eye opener for me. Thank you for doing that. I need. It's a lot of people that were in my corner that weren't necessarily being as brutally honest as I needed them to be, and you were
Hmm.
definitely one of those people that were. So yeah,
Thanks,
appreciate that
man.
for sure. Brought that dog out of me,
It was always in
bro.
you. You just let it. You just let it out, man. I mean, let's keep going on that though. So like, I know, with that, there had to be some like challenges as far as semi-pro
Oh yeah,
goes. I know most of those challenges is more so with people than it is with the game
oh yeah,
itself.
oh
Um,
yeah.
you get a well mix of people who are coming off the couch and people who are aspiring to be pro. And I already know personally you've dealt with both of them. You know,
Yes.
you've so I mean talk on that just a little bit. How have you dealt with like personalities and stuff between that when it comes to semi pro football?
Honestly, you know me well. I'm an introvert. I
Yeah.
talk when I need to. I can be very social when I need to, but I just my social battery runs very low, very fast. So when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to the team, I've I've tried to get close with teams, ended up getting close with a couple teammates, and then a team will end up folding or
Right.
something crazy will happen.
Mm-hmm.
I won't make it. So it's like I try not to get too interpersonal with the team unless I know I'm there for the long haul. Like the Dallas Falcons, locked in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We didn't really have a great season. You know what I'm saying? We had a bunch of scrimmages. We had one pro game against the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Got our ass beat. Excuse my French.
Yeah,
Um,
you good. Ain't no other way to put it, y'all. I mean, but no, just like a testament to it though. Like, I had to text Tyrone after because remember I had to pull myself away from that because I was like, this isn't a good situation for me as a person because yeah, personalities when they get to clashing and I'm not with that. I'm all about the business, so I had to pull myself away. But I had to text him. I was like, hey, there's so many games I've seen that the Lions are just once they get on top, they just keep going and keep going and keep going because the other team starts to give up. One thing I did see though, y'all doesn't matter how bad the score got. I want to see y'all down 60 points. You know, down to a second string
Three
quarterback. You
touchdowns.
move Jamal to quarterback. You know, and you're still
Shout
out
out
there.
Jamal with the bad knee.
Yeah, but y'all are still
Uh,
out there trying. I mean, it's crazy to think about. You know what I mean? I'm
yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off from that story,
No,
but
you're definitely good
it
because that's
just,
exactly how I was feeling.
yeah, because,
um,
yeah,
I don't know. With the Columbus game, I can give you some insight on that. We can talk about that later. I'll let us get to that. Let's
yeah.
continue back to the first part. So with the with the North Texas Bulls, let's start there. One of my best friends, Darren. You know,
Oh,
he was
we
going to
love
running
Darren.
back.
We
Yeah,
absolutely
that's my
love Darren. That's my dog. Hey, we bump heads a lot more than you and me, but Darren is my dog. That's my day one, man.
Oh yeah, we done got into it too. But that's like my big brother, man. He done put me on a lot of game.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be QB running back. Bama was there. Who else was there? You were there. It was a couple other people that were there with us, but we were all going on like actual workouts separate from when the Bulls were telling us to show up. We were going to running routes. We were going to do what we're supposed to do, putting in the extra effort to make the team. Tryout date comes. I don't know if I sent you this video or not, but there's this guy guarding me. This is my first one on one, the only one I actually got. But he's guarding me. All I have is a fake. It's indoor football. I catch it one hand against the wall. I'm thinking I did that. You know, my shuttle speed was good. Everything was good. So I thought. Didn't make the team.
I mean, I was
So
there.
I was.
But also remember, there's so much more to that story than that, though. Um,
Hmm.
remember, how shit had to be 150 people at that tryout. It
Man.
was it was packed. I want to say you were one of the ones that they pulled off to stay. afterwards and all that, right? But it came down to the guys that we were bringing in with the Bulls. Hell, we basically brought in the Texas Revolution from 2013 who had won the
Back in
damn
the day.
CIF. You know, it that tryout. I want to say of everybody there, did you get signed that day or no? You didn't
The
get
person
signed
that
either.
took the person that took my spot for
Mm.
getting signed, I believe, was the tight end, the
Oh,
tall.
Drew.
Yeah,
He was more so of
that's
a
who that was. That's Drew. That's crazy.
he was more of a D lineman though. I mean, so let's talk about it. I mean, if you don't mind if we move on, do you?
No, go ahead.
All right, cool. So pretty much, I kind of want to just know what's your motivation. I know me growing up, I was a kid. I had the arena football video game. I was a guy. Everybody want to go to the league, right? I was
Yeah.
the guy. I knew when I was little. I was like, I'm not gonna be 6'2". I ain't going to the damn league. But didn't miss a Dallas Desperados game. I was like, the league for me is arena football. If I can make it in arena football, I know personally I made it because that's my league. You know what I mean? That's where I can succeed. That's where I want to be. What is that motivation for you?
My motivation is just to be able to play ball as long as I can. From high school, I'd say my main motivation was just prove people wrong and
Mm-hmm.
continuously playing football, getting out of high school and to continue to play because a lot of people didn't believe I would playing six man. Um, got to college, motivation changed from that to I'm going to prove them wrong for sure, for sure. You can't tell me that I'm not going to start. You can't tell me that I can't do this or that. You can't tell me that I can't beat first team defense. I was doing it consecutively every day. You can't tell me that I can't lift that weight. I'm going to throw it up. You know,
Mm-hmm.
once I started telling myself what I can do instead of what I can't do, I was motivating myself. It was self motivation. Then when it comes to the pros, honestly and truly, I had my daughter in 2021. Lord help me. Jesus
Whew.
Christ. I
You gave her
found
a whole
out.
3 years. My goodness.
I was about to say I left Texas Wesleyan. That's where I met her mom.
Mm-hmm.
But uh left Texas Wesleyan, had a baby, and she's about to be 2 years old. So from then to now, like I've literally just been grinding.
Right.
This all I can do for my daughter. So when I got another football opportunity, and I was being told, "Hey, you might not be able to get paid, but you can get film that'll put you in the position to get paid," I was like, "Hell yeah, I'll take that opportunity."
Hey, don't be using my
Tyrone came
word. Don't be
in.
using my words on me like that.
Tyrone hit me, and he said, he got the North Texas Falcons going. I'm like, oh, okay, you brought him back. Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
so we might be looking real good. And then he said, well, I know you guys already paid your money. I know you guys want to play football. I've got a better opportunity for you. The
Mm-hmm.
Dallas Outlaws. The Dallas Outlaws. Tell me what you know about the Dallas Outlaws, Hello.
Say, man, don't even get me started on. Look.
Dallas Outlaws, right? So we go to the first tryout. I'm doing my thing. Me and AJ, we got a thing called seatbelt,
Mm-hmm.
lockup.
Yeah.
I'm at safety. AJ is at DB. We're going crazy. One on one's going crazy. We made the first cut. These guys said, well, y'all the only ones that showed up. Everybody did so good. We're going to have a second tryout. In the back of my head, I'm like,
Something don't
I've been
sound
through
right.
this before. I've definitely been through this before, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going and looking at their track record. They have good history with coaches. So I'm like, oh, okay, Coach Gibbons but man, oh man. Whenever I got the inside scoop and I figured out that teams didn't have any funding, teams were giving us boo boo jerseys, teams were not recruiting like they said they were, teams were not paying for the practice fields like they said they were.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff started just falling
Yeah,
in
yeah. I,
shambles.
I was I
So,
was in on that. There was one thing after another, and then
mm,
eventually everybody was just like, "Look, it it went from a team that was going to be playing the AIFA to
Don't get me started on them either.
Out of nowhere,
We're gonna get to.
he cut his own. He cut them out the team. Started his own league, or no, bought the AIFA. You know about that part of the story, right?
No, I didn't know.
Oh my goodness.
And I
So
already know who said that he bought the AIFA, and I'm really mad that he said that.
his original story was he bought the AIFA from the commissioner of the league. Um, was gonna bring the Las Vegas Kings into the league that was now, the AIFA, which I feel like everybody was stupid because I feel like I was the only one asking the real questions, which was, if you own the league now, don't the teams come with it? You know? Oh, you own the league, but you ain't got the social media pages for them, or you own the league, but you're looking to build teams because we don't have none of. Yeah, nobody was asking the right questions, and they tried to make me feel like I was the bad guy for doing so. But
You definitely saved a lot of us from spending more unnecessary money than we had already spent
yeah,
trying to build a professional team. So with that being said, Tyrone hit me. He was like, "Hey, Biggs, we're not doing this anymore. We're not gonna play with the Outlaws anymore. That's my bad." You know what I'm saying? He took ownership. He was like, "That's my bad for trying to put y'all on. I
mm-hmm,
thought that they were gonna do something great for y'all." So he ended up talking to the owner of the AIFA. Got us a nice travel team,
yeah.
the Dallas Falcons. This is probably the most, surprisingly, the most fun I've had playing professional football, semi-pro. Um, we ended up getting to the IFA. We had a couple scrimmages. They were fun for me. I had great highlights off of them. I couldn't get all of them because, you know, somebody wasn't taking film.
Yeah,
And that's another thing. As a professional team, we've got to have a cameraman. You know,
exactly.
if we're
Gotta
not
have
out
film.
there like that, you know. But wow, I really am saying your stuff. It's crazy. Uh, um, So yeah, we ended up playing against the Far Phantoms, Waco Tornadoes. We were supposed to play Mississippi. Man, that story. That did. Were you ever told about what happened in
So
Mississippi?
I have a premise of the story. My story may be wrong though, because remember by that time I had already removed myself from the situation. the
Man,
The
so
way I know the story to go is y'all left the day of the trip, got there hella late. Um, I mean, I from what I was told, y'all were okay with taking the forfeit, but y'all still did want to play them. They left before y'all got there, some shit like that, something crazy, and y'all had the
let
was
me.
in the what's up? What really happened?
All right, I'm gonna tell you this, and I need you to cut it.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and
And then,
pause. I'm pause here. Cool.
then after that, we get a call from Tyrone. We have group messages all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Hey, they're giving Mississippi the win," and I was just like, what are you talking about?" So they basically said that we can still go play Columbus, but in order for us to make it in the playoffs, we have to score more points on Columbus than Mississippi did, and we have to beat Mississippi to go back and play Columbus for the championship. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh hell yeah, that's not gonna be shit. I've been ready to play them anyways, you know.
Yeah.
So then we play Columbus, WWE versus Raw SmackDown. Uh, we did what we could. I'm not gonna lie to you. Me personally, and I've told Tyrone this a bunch of times, should have had me a safety dog. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was playing
I
DB, I
watched the
was close
game.
down my side, but should have had me a safety. Shout out to Jamal for playing through your pain and stuff. But if you know that you're hurt, you
Exactly.
first and foremost you don't want to put yourself through that and end up not being able to play.
But you
But
also don't want to
also
put your team through that either.
yeah, we could have
Mm-hmm.
had a chance, and I'm pretty sure he's probably tired of hearing that. But we could have had a chance. If we had, he could have even went to corner or jack and played second string quarterback at the end of the game like he ended up doing. We probably would have been good. It was a whole lot of stuff going on in that game, so it's not just his fault. But I don't really care about offense. What they got going, that's them. But as far as me
Mm-hmm.
and my crew, as far as secondary, we even my other DB, like he got dunked on. Apologies, I ain't trying to throw nobody out
Yeah.
there, but
No,
they're
it's
gonna
okay.
see it.
We all saw the game.
Yeah. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, um, even I got caught on. It was PI, He pushed me.
That
Number
wasn't
7,
no
he said
PI.
he, bro. I'll go. I want you. I really want you to
It's
pull it up.
okay.
Number
I
7,
just love when people be like, "Go watch the film,"
bro.
because that's my favorite
Because
thing
like
here. Because end of the day,
when I
film
tell
don't
you,
lie. So
you know which play I'm talking about.
I think I do.
He ran a. I think he ran a post or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was over top, and my DB was under him, and he pushed me, and then he pushed the DB, and then he says I was talking to him after the game, bro, and he says I didn't even look. I just put my hand up there, and I just caught it, and I'm just
Yeah.
looking at him like, bro, you threw me into the wall, tall ass dude. But it's cool. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They gave him a touch. It's their home field, so of course we're not gonna get that call. Uh, but that's besides the point. I wasn't just, you know what I'm saying? I was doing my job for most of the game. At that point, I probably should have passed interference back. He might not have caught that ball. They might have just got yards. I wasn't thinking like that. I was just trying to make sure that I got back to the ball, but it was too late.
Exactly. Yeah.
That is my fault, you know. But I was there to make a play. Those first 3 touchdowns you saw, wide booty hole open. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
That's
We
not
all
okay
saw.
at any point in time. So, mm-mm. But that's besides the point. So we end up playing that game. We end up losing, and so we get back, and they're like, "Well, all we got to do is play Mississippi." But Mississippi still doesn't want to play us. So at that point, the season's over. So at this point, I'm just in my off season, working out and stuff. I might be playing for the Dallas Gators in the AMIFL.
AMIFL. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's kind of keep going though. Let's transition forward just a little bit. I mean, what would you think the what to you? I know you're a receiver, you're a DB. What's collaboration like? Is it important for you and your teammates to be collaborative? I mean, like, talk me through that. Like, what has it has it impacted your career? I know you're an introvert as well. You know,
Hmm.
collaboration for me. I could talk a storm around anybody. You know,
Yeah.
but that's not everybody. So my question is, as far as collaboration goes, how has that played a role in your football career and your progression?
I can usually get in tune with anybody. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not really hard for me to vibe with nobody. It's just when it comes to football, if you're not taking it as serious as me, you know, I'm not gonna be as close with you as my other teammates. Now, one thing I will say, and my friends tell me this all the time, they say, if we didn't know you, like we think that you were talking down to us or talking bad on us. And like
Mm-hmm.
I've really like grown on that and really worked on that. But I talk shit.
And ain't
Even
nothing
if
wrong
I
with
want you to
that.
be better,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a no, do better. I'm on your butt.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, I don't want nothing less from you. I want the best from you. You feel me?
Exactly.
So as a teammate, you gonna be mad at me. You probably gonna want to slap me in my face. You gonna want to punch me in my jaw. But at the end of the day, after you do that, you can be like, damn, I didn't even have to do that because he was right. And I'm gonna take the punch. We might
Mm-hmm.
fight, we might scuffle, but at the end of the day, you gonna know that I'm trying to, get the best out of you. So when it comes to collaborating, I don't know. I've never had an issue unless someone's had an issue with me. And then even then, I'll try to take the steps to get over that issue. But if there's nothing that we can do about it, then I'm not gonna be provocative. I'm not gonna keep on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're not gonna try to come to me whenever you need me either. Like, I've had teammates thinking that I just want to take their spot, and that's why I'm trying to be cool. Like, I could care less if we cool or not, bro. That spot gonna get took regardless. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like either we gonna work and we're gonna compete as teammates, or we're gonna compete as people that don't like each other. But either way, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
compete as hard as I can. And that if you compete with somebody that's like your friend, one of your dogs, you gonna go that much harder because you like, I want him to know I'm better than him. But if it's somebody that you're not cool with, if you're not messing with, it's like, oh, I'm gonna beat him, but this W really don't mean nothing to me because I don't even care about him
Exactly.
anyways.
Exactly.
And besides the actual game and it's an actual opponent, but as far as on your team, your teammate, if you're not really rocking with your teammate like that, then it's always going to be something. Even if y'all are both receivers on the field, and coach tells you to run an 8 yard post and tells him to run a 10 yard post, but he decides to run the 8 yard because he wants to make sure he gets the ball quicker than you, and then he messes
Mm-hmm.
up the whole play because he decides to be big headed. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Teammates like that, I can't really rock with because we got to be coachable. We're all playing on the same team. We're all playing on the same level. It don't matter if I play 6 man. It don't matter if you played 11 man. It doesn't matter if I never played football. It doesn't matter if I played football all my life. We all made it to the same spot. So why are we treating each other any different? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect example. It's a difference between roasting and having fun and talking down on your teammate. Don't call
Exactly.
nobody fat and slow unless you're trying to make them better. But if you just cracking jokes, that'll make a person play bad too. Because in the back of his
Mm-hmm.
head, he's thinking, "That's all I am to this team is just a fat slow mo." You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly.
But if you encourage them, like, "Hey, big ass," you know what I'm saying? Get on the field and go work out. Go do something. Go put
Mm-hmm.
that work in. And like you're gonna motivate. But yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like being being meshed well and communicating is a big part of being on a team. But of course, there's always going to be a lot of people on the team that decide that they want to be the team leader and stuff like that. So it's just it all
Exactly.
depends on where I'm at, what position I'm in, what scenario or environment I'm in.
Yeah. I mean, so I guess my next question is totally off topic. To that
Hmm.
would kind of just be. I mean, talk to me a little bit about. I know you have your daughter now. Um, you work outside of just football. What's
Hmm.
that balance like? How do you balance out? I know it's so much different in college than it is now. Cause in college,
Bills,
yeah, you
bills,
got
bills.
classes, but now you got bills. Now you got kids. Now you got to be the provider as well as you're trying to do your own thing with your dreams. So how do you balance that out? What does that look like for you?
Honestly, my daughter comes before anything. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like in order for me to provide for her, I have to make money. So that means that money has to come before football sometimes, you know?
Right.
And much as that hurts, when I do make that decision, I know that it's the best decision for my baby and it's the only way to go. Uh, as far as work, I actually, I've been running a moving business for the last 2 years. Like under the radar until I can get my LLC, until I figure out everything I want to do with the business is like down to the name. Right now it's just Biggs Moving, something simple like that. But I want to go and trademark that, and not have to work a 9 to 5 and work for anybody else. So whenever I do
Yeah.
work, I'm getting a workout and I'm getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
I had 3, 4, 5 jobs this year. I had 4 jobs last year. So I'm a small company, but I'm going to grow for sure. But it's just the fact that I can say I went and did this job and I took every piece of money from it that I could. I went and
Mm-hmm.
made that estimate. I went and got that bubble wrap. I went and got that shrink wrap. I went and got those moving blankets and invested in myself and watched it come to fruition and watched the money come back. So, um, honestly and truly, as much as I do struggle, you know what I'm saying? Not
Mm-hmm.
even just financially, but mentally, with self evaluating myself. Uh, it's definitely a journey, but I'm finding my way through it for sure.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the first thing I always have to do is just wake up and pray. Get my day started the right way, manifest everything before I step out of my door. Make sure I eat a good breakfast, and then make a plan for making money that day, whether I have a moving job or not. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And that's how I do. And then when I get home, I'll do my little jog around my apartment complex, do a
Mm-hmm.
15, 20-minute jog, get my heart pumping, go take me a shower, lay down, play the game, or go and do some type of
Yeah.
work on my music, something. I like to keep my mind occupied. I have ADHD, so it's like
Mm-hmm.
I can't ever stay in one place anyway, so I might as well find stuff that I enjoy to keep me occupied. I read as well, uh, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of I can segue that into I guess the next question I have. I mean, that's your daily preparation, but what's your game day preparation like? I that's the one thing with you I don't believe I've ever really seen just because I haven't been in the room where it happens with you. Um, what's it
Um,
like when Xaivier is getting locked in for a game? How do you lock in? Are you a visualizer? You got to walk the field. What's your preparation process like?
So for some reason, the last games that I have played semi-pro, I've always been one of the first there. And yeah, I walk the field. I get that lap around always. Before I even touch the field with my cleats, I walk on it with just my socks or just my toes, so I can get a real feel of how it feels.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then I go, I'll stretch, get everything, mobilized, and then I go back into the locker room, listen to my music for about 15 minutes. Once coach tells us that it's time to go rock out and do our real warm ups, put my AirPods down, and I'll go and pray, and then I'll just go out there and just get ready. I really, as far as pregame meals, I like fruit a lot.
Right.
Like that's my favorite food to eat. So I'll eat me a fruit cup, or I'll find a fruit salad or something and snack on, and then I'll be good to go. I really don't
Nice.
much try to overthink before games, because when I used to do that, ever since I left Dunkerville, I've never overthought about a game.
Mm-hmm.
I've never walked into a game like, what am I about to do? Like I've always went into the game like I have a job. I'm about to get this job done. Somebody
Right.
gonna have to stop me from doing this job. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I went in and I did the best of my ability. I executed to the best of my abilities every time I step on the field.
Yeah.
Even when it comes to going to the weight room, I have specific music I listen to. I don't listen to all that hard rap stuff that you would think I would listen to, but more neo soul soothing, so I can feel relaxed whenever I'm lifting weights. That's why I also like writing music, so I can listen to my own music and motivate myself. Like I'm gonna make it in one of these, whether it's this music or this football or this movement business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm writing my own jingle as we speak. Well, not as we speak, but like I'm working on it. It's a work in progress for the Bigs movement. So it's like everything that I'm doing right now in my life is tying together, and that's how I want it to
Mm-hmm.
be. You don't ever want to make money or spend your time investing in someone else when you can invest in your own future. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I guess that would lead me to my next question. It's more so just adversity, both on and off
Mm.
the field. We all go through it, but I hear your pregame and it's very lax, laid back. But when you're in those intense moments, what's your thought process like? How do you handle that? What do you do to calm your nerves? What do you do when you feel your nerves aren't calm? What's your approach to adversity?
Um, Honestly, one thing that I have a problem with, and forgive me for probably pronouncing this word wrong,
Yeah,
but
no, you're good.
it's catas- catastrophizing.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, whenever I have a problem that I run into, I immediately go to the worst case scenario and work backwards. So it's like if if my tire goes flat, right? First thing I think is, what if I don't have my jack on me? Not what if I don't have a spare, because I know I have a spare in my car. But what if I to lift the car up? Then when I find the jack, I'm like, all right, what if the jack isn't good enough?
Mm-hmm.
What if the tire isn't good enough and I have to get another tire? So it's like I'll make myself fall into an abyss of overthinking. But whenever it comes to sports and I'm in that mode, it does the opposite. It's like tunnel vision. As soon as I'm in that position, like that game against Columbus when we're getting beat that bad, all I could think of was we got to do something. We got to make them feel something. So I'm sitting here talking to them in the locker room, like, hey, I know we did drive 11 hours for this. We got to come out here and hit them in the mouth like we were supposed to do. We were supposed to do first half. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Yeah.
We didn't do that all the way, but they could feel us a little bit. Like
Exactly.
we weren't as organized as we should have been. If we were more organized, if we had better O line, D line, if we had more O line, D line, we would have probably did great. But the
Mm-hmm.
ones that we brought out there weren't really, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to talk down on any athletes, like I said earlier, but against a team like the Columbus Lions, they just weren't up to par. I
Right.
feel like our secondary was. We just need to switch a couple things around. I feel like our wide receivers were. You know what I'm saying? Our quarterback was. He just didn't have any time to throw the ball. He was looking up as soon as he caught the hike, and then this 300-pound men finna jump on him. So it's like he couldn't really do anything about that. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I
I
feel
mean,
like go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Um,
Oh, you
so
good?
I mean, let's keep going forward just a little bit more. I mean, so looking back at your journey this far, what advice would you give to first off, what advice would you give to younger you?
Don't be afraid to make mistakes, and don't try to please everybody.
Yeah.
That's those two are the biggest things. And also, don't help who doesn't help you. I have a really bad, even to this day, I have it really bad where I extend my olive branch
Mm-hmm.
to people who couldn't really care less. And so, with that being said, I've come to a realization, even within the last couple of days, that don't nobody got me like I got me. So back then, another thing I would tell myself is believe in yourself. You can
Right.
do it. just have to believe that you can. You don't have to have someone in your corner to tell you that you can. Tell yourself you can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's what I would tell them.
yeah.
Sure, for
And I
sure.
mean, so what advice would you give to younger athletes that are facing similar obstacles, not necessarily off the field, but more so on, like that 6 man player right now who
Uh-huh.
feels like I should be getting looked at by somebody because there's no way in hell I'm leading the state in receiving yards. I got more touchdowns than anybody. I'm my school's all-time leader in this and that, but I have
Uh-huh.
zero. What would be your advice to them?
Never settle.
Mm-hmm.
Never settle. If you feel in your gut that it's not the right opportunity that's being given to you, don't settle for it, because you never know what might be right behind you. They could close the door of opportunity, and there's another window right next to it. But because you
Right.
decided to break down that door, you missed a whole window that took you to another room, and you went to the dark room.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta really, like I said earlier, self-evaluate and figure out what you want to do. Don't do what everyone else wants you to do. Not what your mom, your dad, sister, brother, auntie, uncle, cousin, grandma, nobody. If you don't choose your future now, while
Mm-hmm.
you're in this position to be able to choose and not have to change anything around too much, then by the time you do get to my position where you're 23 years old, you're going to be looking back like, I could have did all this for myself.
Yeah.
I could have did all this up for myself. I could have been in the right position right now for myself and then brought everybody. But you can't. My brother made a song. Um, his artist name is Choir Boy, by the way, uh, or The Choir, but it's called Everybody Can't Go. And he has a verse in there, and it says, "You weren't there with me shooting in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't there seeing me, overcome adversity. You weren't there with me getting told, no, I can't play here. No, I'm not good enough to play here." So it's like, don't try to bring those people with you. Don't,
Exactly.
because they're going to be the first ones to congratulate you when you make it. And that's how it's supposed to be, but they're not supposed to be congratulating you from next to you. They're supposed to be below you. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody deserves your greatness. But that's probably the best advice I can give, and just believe in yourself. There's nothing you can't do if you put your mind to it. Pretty sure we hear that a lot, but it's like,
Right. It's the
where's the
truth.
lie
Yeah.
at?
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm. I mean, so my next question would just be, what's football wise? Where do you see what's your goal? What's your end goal in this? Where do you see yourself going with this? Are you one of those I'm going to the league guys, or you got ambitions that are at a specific level, or what's your goal when it comes to the football side of things for you?
I want to at least make it to the XFL. At least. I don't care if it's the practice squad, because if I know I make it to the practice squad, I can get on the team. If I can get eyes on me, I promise I can make it. But it's just like, let's use this year for example. How much time have I spent with the Dallas Falcons, Jolo?
You
So
spent a lot of time with the Falcons.
I I spent probably from February up until July 1st. Let's just say the first, because
Yeah.
that's basically when he told us the season was over.
Mm-hmm.
What time is that in college, Jolo?
Say, man, it's yeah,
Spring ball, right?
spring ball.
So I could enrolled. I was planning on enrolling in college the spring semester
Mm-hmm.
and just walking on. Um, Tyrone hit me up, and from the North Texas Falcons to the Outlaws to the Dallas Falcons, between those three, I lost all that time that I could have spent, being in college. And I'm not ungrateful by any means, but it's like the film that I could have got out of that, whether it was on the practice field or not, would have been a much greater outcome than what I got. But since
Mm-hmm.
I did get this film, you know what I'm saying? Really, I probably have maybe 5 or 6 clips from that whole time. This is not okay.
Right.
So, um, moving forward, I'm gonna be having someone personally recording me wherever I'm playing at, and hopefully this next semester I'll be getting in college to play, because um, in the spring when the Dallas Falcons do come back, I'll be trying to play with them again,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll only be taking a certain amount of classes, so I will have time. But once again, if that doesn't work out, I'll actually have college in my back pocket this time, so I won't have to worry about wasting any time,
Yeah.
or any money
Smart.
or anything like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I guess my final question for you will be: talk to me about Xavier off the field. I know you're into music stuff like that. What Talk to me about Xavier off the field.
Okay, so Xavier on the field is Hancho Houdini, Xavier Biggs. You know, that's that guy.
Yeah.
That's him. Musically, my name is Zay Bills. If I were to pick a genre, it really be hard. I can rap and sing, so I guess it would be kind of trap soul, neo soul, whatever you want to call it. The link will be in the description. I'll send that over so you guys can check it out. But mostly, music is just a way for me to express myself when I can't find the regular words to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Other than music and football, I really just stay to myself and read. Like, there's nothing really out in the world. There's stuff out in the world that I want to do, but as of right now, in the position that I'm in, all I can do is just grow. So, I'm actually reading this book called The Book of Meditation. I just finished the 47 Laws. I'm also reading a book called The Secret, which is basically about manifestation.
The secret.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
Great book, great book.
Oh
I
yeah.
definitely will try to read that. Um, Outside of football, what can I say? I'm just a regular guy, bro. I love everybody. Try to show love to everybody. I try to make sure at least once a year, me and my bros, we're going to take Little Caesars pizzas, or we try to. We've been planning on doing it for so long. We've only done like one time, two times since we were kids, but it's the thought
Mm-hmm.
that counts. This year we're going to be doing it again around Thanksgiving and stuff. But uh, I want to be a part of the community before I get, famous. I want people to know me for what I do, not for what I play, if that makes sense.
Exactly. I
So
got you.
right now, that moving business, if I can get that up and running, I'm definitely gonna be doing a lot of stuff in the community. With that, I just need to get on my feet first.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of plans. I have a vision board that I made uh, to keep me set in motion and keep me on the right path. But
Mm-hmm.
other than that, I'm really, like I said, regular little guy.
Nice.
Stay out the way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, uh, for those of y'all who don't know, on the intro video to this, that's actually one of his songs. The link for that will be in the description as well. I didn't put the part that he wanted me to put on there because that's the part that I always go back to, especially when I think about overlooked guys, and just being in that position where you know you got it, but other people don't really see that you have it. They don't see you as you see yourself, and you're in the position of trying to make them see what you see. So, um, more than anything, thank you, Xavier, for hopping on here with me.
Thank,
Uh,
thank you for the
of
opportunity. This
course,
is
man.
actually it's real great, bro.
Yeah, I
Made my
mean, it
day.
means a lot that you were able to hop on here with me. I know, like I told you, it's more so just a concept idea. If this sticks, it sticks. But I'm gonna still be grinding it out, no matter who's on here. But it feels,
Manifestation,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Manifestation.
it feels more personal to be able to have somebody like you on here who I've seen personally your struggle. I've seen your grind. I've seen you not make it. I've seen you be this close to the finish line and the line get moved back 10 more meters. You know what I mean? So just to be able to be a part of that journey with you, I feel more blessed than anything. So again, I say thank you for hopping on here
Bro.
with me. And it absolutely does mean a lot.
I appreciate you too, and it means a lot that you're one of the friends, like I said earlier, that's keeping me going steady and checking in on me every once in a while and stuff. That means a lot. It's a lot of people that I would think would do that, but they don't really take the opportunity to. So, like I said to the youngins earlier, everybody can't go.
Right.
Jolo's definitely going. that's
Thanks, man.
that's what I have to
Yeah.
say about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if that's all we got for you, thank you guys for anybody who did tune in. His music links will be in the description. I'll also try to get some highlights off of him. Even if I put it together myself, I got all the clips anyways. And I'll link something like that down in the description as well. Um, be on the lookout for more content coming soon. Be on the lookout for
Hmm.
more from Xavier, more from me. And that'll be the Overlooked podcast for you. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in. See y'all next time.